Hello guys, welcome back to another in-depth review video. So today in this video, we'll be doing an in-depth review of Nothing OS 2.5 which was recently released for Nothing Phone 2. And that's a stable build. For Nothing Phone 1 users also, I'm still testing that device and we'll quickly post the review in upcoming days. Like always, we also created a community post whether if you have any kind of questions, you can let us know there. I'll take a few questions from that community post and then we'll continue with things like battery backup, camera performance and other stuff. So before starting the video, if you guys like the content and if you think it's useful for you guys, then make sure to smash that like button and also consider subscribing to our channel. So the first question is from Turbo, who is asking about the UI lags. Like sometimes it doesn't register touch, especially swipe to home gesture. So this issue is still present on my Nothing Phone 2. Even I have noticed few touch issues during my usage. So let's wait for another update for Nothing OS 2.5 and we'll get to know whether this thing gets fixed or not. Right now, little bit of touch issues are there on this Nothing OS 2.5.1. Another user is asking about the custom ROM. So custom ROMs will be covering after the in-depth review of this build. Another user has an issue with dynamic refresh rate. It doesn't work. It's static 120 Hz causing battery drain. So I'm using 60 Hz. So personally on my device, I don't have any kind of issues like that. You can see the refresh rate goes to 10 Hz. If I'm not touching the device, if I touch the device, it goes to 120 Hz as you can see here. On Nothing Phone 2, I've seen it's not static. It keeps fluctuating between 10 and 120 even if you're not touching the device. The more you increase the brightness, you can see FPS goes to 1 Hz also. And let me also reduce the brightness completely and show you guys. If I reduce the brightness completely, it's stuck at 120 Hz. If the brightness is above 50, you can see it goes to 10 Hz. And if I decrease the brightness to below 50, it's stuck up at 120 Hz. So more the brightness, the dynamic refresh rate will drop down to 1 Hz also. Then Ranjan says, need a video on normal user point of view, not enthusiastic and critical points of views. So in this review, we'll be basically covering all the basic stuff like general stability, battery backup, performance, camera improvements and other stuff. So we are not testing something different. We are just covering the basic points. Then another user says, what do you say about going for Nothing Phone 2 now which has got a price drop? How does it perform compared to others in the price segment like OnePlus 11R, iQOO Neo 7 Pro and iPhone 13? See, if you are comparing with OnePlus 11R, iQOO Neo 7 Pro and iPhone 13, I would still say go with iQOO Neo 7 Pro or OnePlus 11. Then Kuch To Locha hai says performance, display and speakers, camera, battery and charging. So all these things I'll be talking about. Talking about display, so there are no changes in the display after Android 14 upgrade. It remains the same and loudness like the speaker volume is still the same. I did not even see any kind of drop in the output volume. It's exactly same what we used to see on Android 13. Battery backup and charging, I'll be talking about that in the later part of the video. Then Shubham says, please make a dedicated video on reverting Nothing Phone 1 from closed beta to open beta. Brother, I have already done a video. You guys can check out in the description below. It requires PC. So if you have PC, you can proceed with that method. Then Karthik says, do you notice the AOD blinking / brightness spikes? No, I have been testing this device with AOD turned on and I have never seen any kind of issues like that. Lalit says, are the new widgets useful? Does this step widget track the steps accurately? See, for accuracy, I won't say it's 100% accurate, but between 80 to 90% accuracy you'll get on this Nothing new widget step counter, I mean to say. So these were few of the users' query. Now let's talk about the battery backup and the charging. So basically whenever I charge my device, most of the time my battery percentage is always about 10%. From 10% to 100%, my device hardly takes 50 to 55 minutes even after the update of Android 14. And now talking about the battery backup, so here is the screen on time wherein I got 5 hours and 27 minutes of SOT with my normal usage apps like Twitter, YouTube, Amazon, camera and other things. And the same way, second time I got 5 hours and 6 minutes of SOT with a similar usage. So on an average, I've been getting 5 hours of SOT. As far as I remember, the SOT was always between 6.5 hours on Android 13. I exactly don't remember, but if you guys remember, then do let me know in the comment section below. Now let's talk about some of the bugs which I have encountered. I have taken the screenshot. So one of them is while opening the YouTube application. I'm not sure whether it's an issue with the YouTube application, but no other application has any kind of issues. Sometimes screen stucks at this point and sometimes it works fine. So this is one issue which I have noticed. And I'll also show you some other bugs which Nothing needs to fix actually. And the second bug is layer 2 notification. If you see the extra notifications which are present here towards the bottom side, those are beneath the lock screen shortcuts. This should not happen generally. I've seen this issue in OnePlus smartphones initially when they released Android 13.1, but later it was fixed. And after that, second issue is with the gaming mode. Using gaming mode, most of the times you can record the screen, but sometimes I have faced issue while recording. And whenever you start recording, the FPS meter stucks at a particular FPS count. So I do have a lot of screenshots about this, stucking up at 2 FPS and even 90 FPS. So these are some of the bugs which I have faced. And another thing which I won't say it's a bug, but the battery optimization, I mean to say the background battery optimization is too aggressive. So if I keep my device idle for some time, like while I'm going to sleep, and the next day morning if I wake up and turn on the screen, that time I get all the notifications from the particular apps. So as said, it's not a bug, but the standby optimization is too aggressive. Now moving on to the camera segment. So this is one thing where I personally don't feel like using Nothing Phone 2. It's too bad even in normal lighting condition. I'm not saying it's always bad, but it's completely inconsistent. This photo was clicked in 2x mode and you can see the colors are completely washed out. Colors doesn't even come close to what you exactly see with your naked eyes. Front camera is decent, no complaints here. It takes good photos with proper dynamic range and I don't have any kind of complaints related to front camera in good lighting. But when we talk about the portrait mode, this is one of the worst thing what I have seen on a phone which cost you around 35 to 40k when it was launched. These are the portrait photos which you can see. Device completely fails to identify the subject and the foreground. Most of these scenarios it also takes subject in the background and blurs out. And edge detection is so pathetic and I seriously don't understand when Nothing will improve on their camera algorithm. You can see here all the photos. I'm sure I don't even have to point out. You guys can easily make out how pathetic is the camera of Nothing Phone 2 when it comes to portrait mode. Sometimes the background looks so paintish as if someone have manually painted the background. What you guys have to say about the camera segment, do let us know in the comment section below. Now at last let's talk about the performance and gaming part. I personally don't play much of games on this. Whenever there is a software update, I just test out the gaming part, nothing else. First let's take a look at the CPU throttling. So as far as I remember, with the previous build of Android 13, there were no throttling issues to be seen on my Nothing Phone 2, but after Android 14 update, you can see maximum CPU only throttles up to 61% and you can see the graph, there are throttling issues. Then we also performed Wildlife's extreme stress test in which stability scores was 70%, FPS was between 8 to 20 FPS and it was kind of constant only. Only at one place I did notice frame drops. I also tested out BGMI. As said, I don't play much of games on Nothing Phone 2, but still I played few TDMs. I wasn't able to record the FPS. As I told you guys, soon you start recording, the FPS meter stops. But overall, the gaming performance was decent and I did not see much of heating issues also. Along with the BGMI, like I played 2-3 TDMs and after that I played Autosports Grid. That's very intensive game when it comes to graphics and there also device did perform pretty well. I did not see any kind of heating issues. So for casual gaming, you guys won't see any kind of issues. But if you are a hardcore gamer, basically I won't even recommend you to buy Nothing Phone 2. So guys, this was the in-depth review of Nothing Phone 2 running Nothing OS 2.5.1. If you guys have any kind of questions, let me know in the comment section below. This is your friend Ashok signing out. See you guys in the next video.